Most people you talk with, they trust doctors, they think they're smart, and I don't blame them because maybe they had a good experience. Like, I have some friends who had really good experiences with doctors. They actually helped them because they have some kind of medical condition. They actually helped them. But for me, at least, it's the exact opposite. Like, for example, I was first prescribed levothyroxine, which is basically it's a medication for your thyroid, right? I was prescribed this because my thyroid levels were off, and I just listened to the doctor and took the medication because I was at the time, I think maybe 14. I think 14 turning 15. I just listened. I just said, okay, doctor said it was good. Let me take it. It's good. But what ended up happening was the medication actually made me feel worse. I was at a point where I was like, I need to stop taking this or I'm gonna suffer the consequences, So I stopped taking it. And 6 months later, my thyroid levels were through the roof, because it's recommending you don't do that. And my thyroid levels were through the roof, so I thought, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have, got off this medication. But it got so bad that I went to the hospital because, at least where I'm in Canada, the waiting times are so bad that it will take you months, even possibly a year, to see like an actual, family doctor, or to see a specialist will literally take you a year to see. I went to the hospital. They referred me to endocrinology, which is like a specialist for your endocrine system, your hormonal system. Thyroid is a part of that. I got accepted 4 months later. So this was in April. I got accepted 4 months later. Yeah, in July, I went to the appointment. I was expecting, I'm going to get some help. I'm going to get some good experiences here. But it's not what happened. First of all, the woman I was talking to wasn't even the actual doctor, like the endocrinologist. She was a student studying. So when she spoke to me, I could just tell like she didn't really know what she was talking about half the time. And then her idea of what was wrong with me was completely, in my opinion, was completely off. Like, these doctors, a lot of them will just come up with their own kind of idea of what's wrong with you in their head, and if you try to argue with them, because you have to self-advocate in this like area, and like you can't trust your doctor to fucking do what's best for you anymore. You have to self-advocate. If you don't self-advocate, you're gonna either be prescribed the wrong thing or you're gonna be brushed off or whatever. And this doctor, I really she just brushed me off. She wouldn't, even if I when I self-advocated, really was very stubborn. Anyway, she said, oh, come back in 2 months, we'll test you again or whatever. Came back in 2 months. She tested me. She said, actually, we're gonna reject you because your levels are normal now. We're gonna reject you. And then I thought, wow, like I just wasted 6 months or something for nothing. We got nowhere. And then what ended up happening was I said, you know what, like I need to start researching this shit myself because I'm feeling horrible. My life's going down. And what I ended up doing was I ended up just it got so bad to the point where I left. I actually took time off school. I'm taking time off school right now because of how bad it's gone. And these doctors have fucked my life. I'm not gonna lie. These motherfuckers really fucked me up. I'm not saying there's not good doctors out there, but from my experience, my family doctor, I didn't even talk about my family doctor. My family doctor, when she prescribed me the medication, I don't even think she could have done that. I think that was wrong. I look at my labs back now, it's like I don't think she should have prescribed me it. And this whole idea of thyroid issues, it's like messed with my mind because like I've been told I've had thyroid issues for like the last 2 years, and now I'm being told I don't, and it's like imagine you're suffering for months, right? You're suffering on end for months and months and this and that, and then they tell you, oh well, no, the thing we actually prescribed you with and the thing we actually told you had, you don't have it. Okay, so what do I have? No, we don't know, but we don't have this, and it's just like these doctors, they just run these tests and this and that, but they don't really understand anything. Like I really don't think these doctors understand anything. When you talk with them, it's like talking with, it's not like talking with a human being. It's like talking with a robot that doesn't actually listen. It's like you could say whatever you want to them. They're always gonna have their own agenda. They're gonna push on you. Like you could say whatever you want. Whatever you could say, hey doctor, my this hurts and that hurts and that hurts. Oh, do this and do that. Oh my knee hurts. Oh, eat this and eat that. Drink more water. They don't give a shit. A lot of it, I think, is a lot of doctors don't want to take the time to actually help you properly because you become a liability to them. You're coming every day and you're demanding for this, like you're asking for this drug and that drug. You become a liability and they don't want to deal with you, so they just brush you off and send you to the next doctor. And I think it's like most doctors nowadays don't even want to help. I really don't think so. Like from what I've seen, most doctors don't really care. They care about themselves more than anybody. You know, like this, it's just, yeah, it's just messed with my mind. Like, you know, ever since this stuff's been going on the past two years, like if you look at me 2 years ago, bro, I was a completely different person. I really thought, like, I trust in the system. I trusted in all systems, university system, medical system, you know, job system, everything, just everything in general. I really believed it. But now, like, this whole event has, like, changed my way of thinking 180 degrees, you know? Like, and to a lot of people, it might sound crazy, but I'm telling you guys, you go through something, like, that most people don't go through, it'll change your mind. It'll change, your mind, the way you think, how you perceive everything. It'll really, like, my mind is, like, opened up now. It really is. Before, I was living in a shadow in the dark. Now I'm really opened up and I understand, you know, how this stuff works. Like, doctors don't know shit. Doctors will tell you to eat bread. Doctors will recommend you eat grains. I mean, if you know anything about the human diet, you would laugh at that. You would laugh, because grains and bread and all this man-made, you know, wheat and modified plants, when you eat them, they're terrible for you. They're terrible. You know, doctors will recommend you eat more bread and carbs than meat, which is absolute insanity. Meat is what provides us everything we need. If you just ate a raw meat diet with muscle meat, like raw beef muscle meat and raw beef organs, you would never need to eat anything ever again. That would be your diet for life. I'm not saying do that. It's a bit extreme, you know, even for me, you know, I'm extreme and that's a bit extreme for me, but that's all you need. You can look into the research. Every single kind of news outlet will say, oh, it's bad for you, you know, meat's bad for your heart, meat's bad for this. It's complete bullshit. Use your head, think for yourself. Did humans 10,000 years ago eat veggies, plants, bread, or did they eat meat? Just think about it. And if you can't think about it, there's examples you can look at. For example, look at the Inuit up north in Canada. The Inuit up north in Canada, they eat raw meat. Their kids eat raw meat. They do this today still. Their kids eat raw meat, raw fish. They eat raw meat, raw fish. And if you look at the way they develop, this is also a big thing, the way they develop is their skulls are developed perfectly. Wide skull, wide face, and it makes them attractive. It makes their faces beautiful because they develop properly, like they should have. You know, if you look at me, for example, I'm not developed properly because I have crooked teeth. Crooked teeth are caused by not developing properly. That is, and anyone who tells you different is lying to you. Crooked teeth are a result of not developing properly. If your skull develops properly, your jaw is wide, your teeth have perfect space to grow in straight. For example, look at tribes in Africa. The people there, their teeth are white, right? They never had braces. They ate meat and that's it. Maybe a little bit of fruit, and their teeth are perfect. Nutrition is the number one thing. That is the truth. These doctors don't get it. You go to your doctor and tell them bread is bad for you, grains is bad for you. They're gonna laugh in your face. You know, especially vegetables. If you tell them vegetables bad for you, they're really gonna think you're an idiot because they're closed-minded. You know, doctors. This is supposed to be like the pinnacle of science. The smartest people you can go to. The smartest people you can trust. And when you really talk with them, you realize they're very closed-minded. They're not open to new ideas, and they just listen to their textbooks. Let me tell you something. If their textbook said that eating cupcakes and drinking soda and eating fast food, which it does to a degree, they would tell you to eat it. They would tell you it's good. They are just minions that went to school for 10 years to get some piece of paper that can now dictate what you do in your life. I'm not telling you guys take this advice with 100% to heart, but listen to my experience and look at your own. I mean, you know, maybe you had a good experience, but look at your own, look at your parents' experience, look at your relatives' experience, and really think about it, because the way I see it, doctors are not your friends. Doctors aren't there to help you anymore. You shouldn't listen to them. That's all I gotta say. Have a good day.